Yo, I had made a video about this originally, but it turns out I couldn't even hear nothing, so I'm a little upset because the sound, it wouldn't let me hear the sound. But I want to give a shout out to Chris O, JJ Starwin, Rolando G, and others. This is something I wanted to talk about for a while, but I never got to it. But International Passport, he's going to a sunken place right now, and I'm not going to talk real crazy to him because I can kind of identify with him because it was a certain point in my life when I was at where he at. And if you guys been watching my videos for a few years, you known this. Remember when I had made a video about how some of these women, especially some of the Asian women, it feel like that it seems like they don't really give brothers a chance out here. And I look back at that video and it's kind of cringe where they're like, I think that was silly. Why even make a video like that? Because I'm in a different realm with my mindset. Because I was finding out about anti-blackness. I knew it may have been some people who may not like black people like that coming up, but I never knew it was like this to a degree, like anti-blackness, the colorism, white worship, stuff like that. I was finding out about that a few years ago from these different groups, not just with Asians, but even with Latins. And I ain't even gonna lie, bro. That kind of made me feel some type of way. That was getting to me, man. I was stressing out for about a couple of months, but I'm in a different frame of mind right now. I had to see the value of myself, even in my blackness, because it was getting to the point where I was having some insecurities about my own blackness, bro. Like I was really stressing out, but that only took me a couple months to get out that phrase. I got this prize mindset that I'm the prize or I'm worthy. Now I deserve respect just as much as anybody else. Ain't nobody better than me. Sometimes you gotta have a high frame of mind. Sometimes you gotta have an abundance mindset when it comes to yourself. But I know that Christopher Owens, I know you can go into better details because you're more of a cultural guy than me, and you know a lot of people from different cultures. But I'm about to get into this.
I can already see the Oxford study comments coming. One Asian woman captions a video of her dancing with a white partner. So the phrase Oxford study refers to just that, okay? An academic study out of Oxford University, all right? The research is of interest because commentators believe it explores why Asian women, like in these posts, dates white men instead of men of color, okay? So, Theo, intro here, okay? Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on what I've read so far? It's come to a point where there's a label for Asian women with white men, and it's called Oxford Study, Theo. Your thoughts here at this moment, bro?
They're being cute about it. They're really not getting to the meat of it, but I mean, they're just starting. But I don't think they're going to get to the real meat and potatoes of this. Mm. So, yeah, that's what I think at this point. Maybe.
And we definitely will on this stream. So it says here, do you believe, Phil, right, when we see Asian chicks with white men, are these Asian women, are they a victim of white supremacy? Or is something else going on here, Phil, in your opinion?
I would say something else is going on. But I mean, I could see the argument. I understand the argument on the other side that it's about white supremacy, and also that it's about people not, what can I say, Asian women not respecting themselves, or they're having they don't like that they're Asian. They don't like their identity as being Asian, so they think if there's something wrong with themselves because they're Asian, so they want to breed with white guys. I've read the argument both ways, so I understand what they're saying.
And I want to say that it's a mixture of everything. It's not just white supremacy. Because I can get that argument, because you got to understand Western powers historically. They've been around the globe, damn near conquered half the globe. Rape and pillage, colonizing. And you got to understand, from the female psyche, that is seen as power and dominance. So that kind of plays into female nature. And then you also have to take account that these guys have a media where they amplify everything to the max. Look at these media images. The media shows that they the greatest thing since sliced bread when it comes to men. They're associated with wealth, power, privilege, status, social status, high status, this, that, and the third, right? They have a propaganda machine behind them, so when the women see all that, they're going to gravitate towards that. And it's getting spread on the global level. So you got to take that into account as well. But it's a mixture of a lot of stuff. It's not just, oh, you hate themselves, self-hatred. I'm not saying that don't exist, but it's mixture of everything. It's a lot of things to go into this.
Okay, awesome. So another key point here, right? Yet another Asian woman happy to be in the clutches of a totally ordinary white man. And that's a point that I agree, because in the UK, right, every day I'm seeing dime Asian chicks, right, with low value looking white dudes. But a brother like me, who's clean cut, who doesn't dress like a thug, who's in a suit, right? He looks fresh, looking clean, looking sharp, right? He gets no looks from Asian chicks. Another black man I spoke to, Theo, who are educated, who are also clean cut, get no looks from Asian chicks. So is it truly white supremacy, or are Asian women repulsed by dark skin? Brothers that, have dark skin, and brothers that, have a short haircut. Is it purely physical? Theo, in your opinion, is black skin something that they don't like, these Asian women in the West?
I'm not gonna say that he ain't got no point to that, because they do, like, Asian culture got this obsession with fair skin, but that's in other groups as well, like Latin. There's like a color class system in the Latin Americans, other groups as well. So you can just wrap that up to white supremacy, but at the same time, I argue that some of these systems, especially in Asian society, you can make an argument that a lot of that was going on even before Western interference. That's just part of their culture. But that doesn't mean you don't have a foot in the game. There's going to be some people who might be attracted to darker skin, medium skin, this, that, and the third, because of social interactions. So you got to put yourself out there. Just like in Latin America, some of these Latinos be choosing up on brothers, dark skin, brown, light skin. They be choosing up. You just got to put yourself out there.
I would say that they're making decisions based upon what they think is best for them in the West.
Facts. And I also want to give a shout to Cortez Smith. Shout out to Cortez Smith.
And they're not representative of all Asians, because if you go to Asia, you're going to get a different outcome, an extremely different outcome, particularly in certain countries. So whatever the Western woman does, like as far as I'm concerned, they're not Asian women in the West. They're just Western women. So they're acting a certain way. I'm like, I don't care. I write them off anyway because, again, if you look at these women's end counts in the West and compare them with what they would go on in Asia, they'd be ostracized in Asia for what they're doing in the West. So why would I even consider them?
Facts, absolute facts. So it says here, right, they probably won't consider how the Asian woman experiences dating within the Asian community have influenced her decision to date outside of it. That's an interesting point there. So they're saying that some Asian chicks, right, have dated other Asian men in the Asian community, and it didn't go.
I'm gonna skip this part.
Your point there, right? The Western world, the Western society, is detrimental to black men, mental state, physically, and progression. You know,
I'm not gonna say he lying completely.
I said it before, right? America, UK, and every other Western country is the white man's kingdom.
And I disagree with that. I don't think that's the case because brothers are winning in Canada, especially certain places in Canada like Vancouver. Brothers are winning in Germany. I heard brothers are winning in Australia. Even in other countries like Norway countries and places in Sweden, brothers are winning, especially when it comes to getting access. Some of you guys are not a fan of Western countries, and I get it. But I'm just saying from like a sexual access standpoint, in some of these other Western countries, brothers can win. Brothers are eating.
You know, is the white man's kingdom, and black men gotta accept that. Black men gotta accept that, right? Every day I wake up every day. I look at the TV show. There's a white girl in the advert. I go to the theaters. There's white characters. I look at superheroes: Batman, Superman, James Bond, etc., etc. You know, I look at who's the CEO of the big companies, Tesla, etc., etc. White man. Okay, so.
And I heard this argument before because I made this argument about the imagery, how it kind of helps give certain people boosts in the society. And the thing is that the part where he's saying that black men gotta accept this is just like he's saying this like we haven't. And this is a UK brother, to be fair. Us American brothers, we already know what it is out here. But regardless of that, we're not gonna just swallow in pity and despair just because we got barriers that we gotta go through. Still gonna put on our big boy shoes and just get it in. Go out there and put in the work regardless. Just like our fathers, our grandfathers, our great grandfathers had to do in this society. And then he talking about how the CEOs are all white. I mean, there's some black CEOs or black entrepreneurs, black multimillionaires, black billionaires. There are black Fortune 500 Fortune companies. He's talking about the images, Superman. Like we got Luke Cage. We coming up. We got Blade, Luke Cage, Black Panther, Black Lightning. We got Static Shock, Miles Morales. Even with the action-packed scene, like we got Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Yeah, we got Denzel Washington, Equalizer. Shoot, we got Major Payne with the comedy. Yeah, Roadblock with Terry Crews out here being a badass. Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. We got Creed with Michael B. Jordan. So we got some solid images out here too. and we got the hip hop image and the sexual prowess image when it comes to black men. We got the athletic physical image when it comes to black men. We have certain images at our advantages that can put our foot in the game. Should they be more? Yes, but the thing is, the reason why I made certain complaints about this is because we don't control our image, because we ain't got our own little media.
These kind of imagery, right, is against us, and Asian women, right, are looking at that every day, and it's influencing their dating preferences. They're seeing white men doing well everywhere in the West. Black men are nowhere to be seen when it comes to positive imagery. Theo,
that's not true. We got black dudes in politics. Bro, Obama was a president. And we got black male politics. We got our own images. Unfortunately, we got our own negative image, but guess what? Everybody got their own negative image. Hispanics, criminals, gang bangers, and then Middle Eastern, unfortunately, terrorists, white dudes, mass shooters, racists, misogynists, the evil white man, guy who wants to colonize shit. Like, we all got our own little negative images as well.
No, I wouldn't necessarily be saying it like that.
By collapse radiation contamination, recognizing.
No, I wouldn't necessarily be saying it like that. It's quite different, but I wouldn't necessarily say it like that. I understand their situation and what they're actually thinking about. So I just kind of sit back and like, okay, well, I get it. Hold on, I have to check. I'm not, the chat is going a little crazy there. I'm not coping, man. I understand the situation. If I wanted to go ahead and or coping, I'd be complaining about it instead of doing something about it. I wouldn't say that the white man is supreme in the West either. It is in the West.
Theo, so you mentioned how you disagree with my point in terms of white men not being on top in the West, right? I'm gonna have to push back there, okay? Because on a micro level, yeah, there are things where they can't say some things, right? But on a macro level, feel right that the CEOs they have a lot of power. The executives at these companies, they have a lot of money, the most money, right? After certain immigrants, right, in the US, and they have a lot of social power feel to the point where their image is not only positive in America, but in Japan, Korea, etc., etc.
I'm saying this is cap on IP because you're arguing from a micro level. You're saying that the CEOs are white men, but guess what? There's more white people in America than everybody. Like, they have a higher population, but not every white dude is gonna benefit from that. From the fact that there are like a lot of white CEOs and shit like that. A lot of white dudes are not gonna benefit from that. Dude, a lot of white dudes are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of white people in general, they struggling just like everybody else in this bitch. I do think IP, he's putting white dudes on the pedestal because he's developing an inferiority complex.
I was in Korea last year, right? The amount of white models
Yeah, and I want to say that I've been noticing this ever since like a little over half a year. I've been noticing this like ever since that whole incident in South Korea when he couldn't hack it in South Korea. I think that broke him. I think that broke IP, man. I think that broke international passport. It broke him. Cause he was defeated. He sounded real defeated in that live screen when he talked about South Korea. He thought it was gonna be sweet. He thought he was gonna go to South Korea and hack it just like Japan. Turns out it didn't work out for him, unfortunately. He was trying to blame his skin color for the reason why he couldn't hack it. And then the brothers came on the panel and pushed back and said, nah, it's your mindset. And he didn't want to hear it. He said he didn't care what nobody said. It was his skin color. And he was talking about how his profile pictures, his Tinder profile pictures were good. He was fresh, clean cut, wearing suits and stuff like that. And then I'm not trying to make fun of nobody, but he comes off as like one of those quote unquote so-called educated lames, right? Thinking because you got an education, you wearing a suit, women are just supposed to just fall on your lap, in between your lap, reverse cowgirl style. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. Like, you gotta offer more than that. You gotta offer the social thing, the social interactions, and the sexual prowess. Again, I'm not trying to make fun of the dude. I'm just saying what the situation is. But ever since then, bro, he was broken, and he's been on the tirade talking about how black is kind of. You remember when I made that video called "All of a Sudden, brothers don't have options overseas"? That was kind of like a response to one of IP's videos he made a couple months ago. And it seems like he might be following that whole race pill thing. Because that's something called race pill. And dudes, especially brothers, bro, you do not want to take the race pill. Don't do it. Especially if you already got a defeatist mindset. Don't take the race pill. Because he follows Austin Holloman. And he seems to be taking Austin Holloman's talking points. Because Austin Holloman had certain experience down there in South America with the whole colorism thing, color class thing. Yeah, even though most brothers don't really complain about that, but he was complaining about it.
So throughout the whole country, even in Japan too, I was shocked to feel, right? I was like, yo, okay, so you got white models here, right? I want to see black models. But I hardly saw any feel. So again, Asian women are being, in my opinion, brainwashed to run after white dudes. Even in South Korea, bro, the amount of Korean chicks I saw with white dudes was astounding, bro. And I hardly saw any black dudes with South Korean chicks in South Korea.
You know why? Because the numbers is white dudes have a higher population than black dudes, and plus white dudes travel more than black dudes, and they happen to go to South America and especially Asia. Brothers who go to South America, you'll see a lot more brothers down there compared to Asia. Brothers don't really go to Asia like that because a lot of brothers are not really into Asian women like that. You got a handful of brothers who are, or two handful of brothers who are, but most brothers, they either like the black women, white women, or Hispanic. Those are their main three that black men tend to go. It's a mixture of everything.
Right? And I'm thinking, what's going on? So in the West, right, white man's winning with Asian chicks. In South Korea, white dudes winning with Asian chicks. Can the black man eat for once? Can the black man eat, bro? Let's keep it real for you.
But see, the issue is that the black man doesn't show up. I mean, think of it. Okay, so I've done over 20 years abroad. I did over 16 years in Asia, right? So the reason why I did well with Asian women is because I left the country and went to Asia.
About to skip.
That's right. So why is that? Well, white women are a bit more sturdy than other races. So I'll definitely say that. So usually the first one's going to be white. And then if he can get access to Latinas, it's a done deal. So usually black men don't get to the point of actually going to Asian. They're not really going for it. It's because the white girls usually just stop it right then and there. Boom, cleaned up. And then Latinos would be the next in line. I've always liked Asian women. I've always had a thing for them ever since I was a kid. Ever since even my mom, my mom would watch.
You've got a great degree, clean cut, cool. So you're doing well in your personal life, right? An Asian woman don't even look your way. At this point in time, feel right. For these Gen Z dudes in the West, it's a physical attraction problem. Asian women in the West don't find black men physically attractive. I don't care. She don't care if the black dude is 6'5" or 6 foot. If he has black skin, if he has black features, because as you know, we're black men, we look differently from other races of people. Okay, she don't find that attractive on average. Let's keep it real. Man.
Nah, this sounds like some defeatist talk. That's not necessarily true, bro. Best believe I seen it all over the internet, bro. All over social media, Instagram, even TikTok. Now, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Some of them Gen Z Asian shits, bro, they out here, bro. With the zaddy worship. Cause they even saying it. They'll even say it on social media. They want to get colonized. They want to get fetishized. Including some of the Latina chicks, Gen Z Latina chicks. They saying it too. They want to be colonized or fetishized. They on the zaddy worship too, the Latinas. But I seen the other side of it is that I see some of these Asian chicks talking about how they want a brother. Not just like Eastern Asian chicks, but Southeast Asian chicks too. Now I'm not just talking about typically Filipina and Thai. I'm talking about like others, like freaking Polynesians and Afghans. Yeah, Afghans on TikTok. Talking about how they want a brother. Even other groups. Middle Easterns are starting to open up. You got some Indian chicks starting to open up. And you got Indian chicks talking about the racism in their families. They're starting to be more vocal about that. And there's some Indian chicks out here who's willing to be disowned from their family just to be with a brother. It's actually out here. All on TikTok. That's the blessing about TikTok. Everything gets exposed. I even see videos overseas, and surprisingly, even in China. Yeah, China. Of all places. Like they been hella aggressive. Some of them females down there in China, bro, they being aggressive. They shooting they shot at the brothers. They saying hey, you can get it. You're a potential husband. Or they might try to get them to cuff up their daughters. I've seen the videos, fam. And I'm surprised because I thought China wasn't really feeling brothers like that. But hey, man, I might be wrong. It might be starting to open up a little bit. That's why I was saying, I was telling the JJ Starwind when he wanted me to make a video response, basically what was going down there in South Korea, about the women becoming just a little bit more independent. This new cultural wave down there in South Korea. And I say it's not a complete bad thing. It's just it kind of opens up the field for black men. The women, they're moving at a pace where they're not completely making moves based on how their family want them to make moves. They kind of want just a little bit of independence. It kind of leaves breathing room for brothers. It kind of lets us get in just a little bit. Cause I say that brothers should just go to these places and just clean up, take advantage. Not take advantage in a bad way, but like finesse. Make it easier for you to get a partner or something like that.
No, I wouldn't say necessarily there. I'm just going to say that they are, going to say, so the black guys are not necessarily going to be in the same circles as Asian women. And then also, they're not necessarily going to be checking for them in the beginning, because
that's exactly what I was saying, bro. And then, like, a lot of brothers are not in these social circles by proximity. We're not around them by proximity, anyways.
Again, Becky's around. If they're doing something to go for Asian women, maybe
white woman, and they feel like they can have all the white men to themselves, you know. And I think that's the point that we got to discuss here. You know, do they actually secretly want to be white women, and they feel like they can become white by being with a white man? We know that, that the white man has a lot of status all around the world, good imagery, and maybe Asian women want to be close to that proximity. Do you agree, Phil, that a lot of Asian chicks want to be white? Let's keep it real.
I would just say that Asian. Okay, so one of the statements that
there is some truth to that about how women of color in general, really, because of how they view whiteness, they think they're gonna benefit from all the endeavors that they perceive with that, which is basically like social status, wealth, and stuff like that. So they think by assimilating to that, they're gonna reap the benefits. Some women of color do think that, but obviously that's not the whole entire piece of the puzzle.
Asian men have stated is that Asian women hate themselves, and they hate their race, and they hate being Asian, and that's why they're going for white men. And then of course you're having the same argument from black women. They're saying black men hate themselves, and that's why they don't go for black women. I take this with a grain of salt. However, I will look at Koreans and say, in particular Koreans, and say their whitening is out of control, and the desire to whiten their skin is weird. I don't understand it. I've seen it, but I don't particularly like it. She is Korean going out with the Swedish man. These are apex predators with each other. Yeah, you can't just stand back. That combo is a very good combo. They're gonna make great kids. All right, so I mean, I just go back and say it. But again, if you look at the Nordic countries, the amount of Nordic men who are marrying Thai women in particular is just outrageously huge, right? So they have beautiful women at home, but they got feminism, so they go abroad and they get Asian women and they bring them back home, right? So it's an issue.
I was in the bus stop, okay, and my earphones dropped out of my ear, and it rolled to the feet of an Asian woman. So I stand upright and try and pick it up, and the Asian woman just runs away from me, bro. Literally looks at me in shock and runs away to the other side of the bus stop. I couldn't believe what happened there, bro. And like, she ran away from me because I'm a black man. She ran away from me because I'm a black man, Theo, and she gave me a really disgusting look. So, me having experienced that in the West, right, where literally an Asian chick, right, running away from me giving me a really bad look, which you saw a black face, made me feel some type of way feel. I guarantee she knew that's a white man feel. And then that proves my point feel, right? My skin color, being a dark-skinned brother, right? You know, a lot of Asians don't like it. And to me, feel that right there is racism. That's pure racism, feel.
Well, that's a lot better than Becky saying that you attempted to molest her while you were walking the dog outside, and then the police come and do what they do, and you're innocent, and you're being taken off, you're being taken to jail. You don't even know what's going on, or if it's in the States.
I'll be doing a lot of exclusive streams on there, on Twitch. So make sure you follow me on Twitch. I'll put my Twitch in the chat below. IP's on Twitch, and IP wants you to follow him on Twitch. So do so, please. Okay, I have some special streams happening on there. Okay, follow the Twitch. Okay, so remember for super chats real quick. Follow the Twitch. That sounds funny, man. Follow the Twitch. Follow the Twitch, yeah? So, shout out to Mr. Dell for the support. Number one, staring doesn't equal dating opportunity. Interesting. Even the women in Japan say that black people are part of the American mafia in the whites versus black in video interviews.
What are you talking about, bro? No, they don't. No. Dale, are you tripping? No. Dale, bro. Really? Okay. Here. Get some whiskey, all right? Get some whiskey. Pour one out. Chill out. Oh. Some people talking smack. Okay, next one.
Shout out to Mr. Bubble Guppy for the support. The more I pay attention, the more I see this as mostly a pain point for Asian American men. If they go to Asia, they'll be fine. But brother, I'm more concerned about black men feel. If I'm honest with you, I want to see.
This is a pain point for Asian men. This is another reason why I'm hesitant to talk about this in the West regarding this, because this is a major pain point for Asian men, and a lot of these guys are straight shooters whom I respect. Like, these are very intelligent, diligent men who don't really do anything wrong. A lot of them are very God-fearing and are wonderful sons. Like, they're going to become wonderful husbands, and they can't get a date. And so they literally have to go to Asia to go get one. And at the same time, the girls that they should be dating are getting ran through by Brad and what Chad and Brad. So there's that when Asian women in the West are older, they usually come back to Asian men. Damn. And at that point, they are a mess.
Ran through.
I'm straight out that they are a mess. And then these like really strong Christian Asian men have to work to reform and rehabilitate these women, and they deserve the Asian men deserve better.
But feel right. But in my opinion, in 2014, this right here is the best time to be an Asian guy. K-pop, Korean media, Korean movies, Korean music has elevated the Asian man to a whole different level. To the point where in the UK, I'm seeing Asian dudes with good-looking women of every race. And I have spoken about this in the past. The other day, I saw an Asian dude with a mixed-race black chick. And I never saw that before in my life. But I see that here and there. I see Asian dudes with white chicks, good-looking white chicks.
You're probably saying Korean men. This isn't with all Asian men. Probably talk.
And like I said earlier, when it comes to these images and shit, they sort of give black men in the game or any other group of men in the game. Every man don't get the benefit from these images. Not like the CEOs being white dudes. Not every white dude is going to benefit from that. Just not every Asian dude is going to benefit off this whole K-pop shit. Because that's mainly for Korean dudes.
What about Korean men? Because again, Thai men ain't doing this. They're not Indonesian men. They're not dating like this. There's no way. Filipino? Nope. Ain't happening. So Japanese men tend to be timid. They kind of can do this, but they kind of not. Korean men they can do it. Yep, they can pull this off. So you're talking about Korean men in the West who have K-pop and other cultural factors, and they're able to date other nationalities. Yep, makes sense because they're doing the work.
Okay, but we can agree that Taiwanese men, Chinese men, basically light-skinned Asian men can actually put themselves in that Korean mode, because a lot of women would just group them as, Asian, right?
Okay, so Chinese men really...
Because that's a Korean thing. K-pop, Korean soap, that's Korean shit. Not every Asian dude is Korean. They're not gonna be able to benefit from that shit. It's why you got a lot of chicks from different Western countries, even America. Some of the chicks, they going to Korea. They're going to China or Japan like that, or Indonesia. They going straight to South Korea because of that K-pop shit. Korean soap opera.
Really like Chinese women. It's a thing for them to go outside, like the Japanese or Thai. They really don't like that. I'm just saying, in Asia, Chinese men really like Chinese women. It's kind of a thing. So they're really not going outside of their nationality. Do it that way.
Shout out to Mr.
And then you could date. You have plenty of Japanese women you could date. That's it. You're done. You're happy.
This man trolling.
Do it that way.
Shout out to Mr. Salah Ghazi for the support. IP, there's a new way for Asian women. They now date Mexican men exclusively. I see and hear it here in Northern California. Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And Rolando G, if you happen to watch this video and you make it to this part, I would like to know if that's true or not.
Well, there's also ones that really want.
Because don't you live in Northern California? I think that's what you said.
Date. I knew about that in Japan. That was a thing when I was in Japan. They also date Peruvian, Colombian men. Yep. The Brazilian men. Yeah, that's the thing. So don't be surprised.
Okay, but as a black man, I want them all for black men. These Asian chicks. But I know
that's not gonna happen, bro. It's competition, bro. You got to deal with that.
That's a dream, but a man can dream, right? Shout out to Prince Paxton for the support. I might be East Asian woman, and that's fine, bro. That's your preference, bro, and you are entitled to that. I
agree with that. So I mean, I like Japanese women quite a lot, but a dark-skinned Thai, that's it. It's game over. Theo goes into breeding mode. That's just the way it is. They're really beautiful. I like how they act. I like their...
Yeah, that's definitely a comment I agree with in the UK. That Jew music, that's a fair point there. Follow that with their dating preferences, hence why this stream exists. That's a good point. Keep it real.
Mm-hmm. So it's the comment is that they hated themselves. I stay out of that convo. I let them argue that one. That's not a convo for us to have. So they need to figure that one out on their own. Yeah.
Awesome. Shout out to Mr. Faye Yellis for the support. When an Asian woman wants to date a foreigner, at the time it's a white guy. A black man can get action, but they are not the first option. I agree, and I want black dudes to be the first option. When will we become the first option?
This is they're talking about the West. So you're talking about it wants to date a foreigner.
Yeah, they're talking about the West, or certain parts of the West, because that's not everywhere in the West. But overseas in these countries, that's not the case. It might appear like that's the case. It's because a lot of them go there, bro. Hey, we barely go there. A lot of them would date based on proximity.
No, this is BS. Because the foreigner, then we're talking about Asia, right? Well, we're in Asia, and it's black men are there, and also Persians are there. Oh, yeah. This isn't 80% of the time it's white guy. No way. Black guys will get scooped up immediately.
Facts, because so many brothers talked about this, especially like in Japan and other places in Asia. I ever told you guys this earlier about, hey, they doing this to brothers in China. Like, they scooping them up in China. They're more open 2024. And I noticed they've been a little bit more open ever since this whole wave with the Chinese men and women. The markets became more open. The brothers. And for the Chinese men, like, I feel where they're coming from. I feel for them, but at the same time, bro, I'm about to finesse the situation at my advantage. I even heard brothers winning in Taiwan
by far faster than the white guys will. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I've seen it time and time again. Boom, gone. Black guys are out. It's the way it is.
That's a great comment there by MD. It's challenging if you're a dark black man. I agree, bro. If you're a dark skinned black man, it's even 10 times worse. I mean, they've been going for an Asian chick. If you're a light skinned brother, brown skin.
I've seen brothers, even in the States, dark skin, the brown skin, with Asian chicks. I've seen a commercial, this house making, where they had to rebuild houses and shit. I seen like an Asian woman and a black dude being a customer. And the brother was like a dark skinned brother. He was a chocolate brother with some glasses on. Even overseas in certain Asian countries, brothers, dark skinned brothers are winning. I see a lot of pictures, even videos on social media. There's even a market with brothers and Asian women on a certain app called, it's kind of like their abbreviation of black men and Asian women. And then there's certain websites that talk about this stuff. Even with Latin women, like it's websites where Latin women and Latino women and black men can meet up. And there's websites they talk about the unions between black men and Latin women. It's crazy, man. The market is everywhere. You just got to be in the right social circles and put yourself in the right position.
You got a chance there. You got a good chance there. But if you're
do it in Japan.
Types or Akon is.
You can do it in Japan. You can do it you just have to have confidence. That's all. How tall are you? You're like a walking Godzilla there. You got, especially Japanese women. They love like the big monstery type guys. They do. They think Godzilla's cute. So you're tall. They're gonna go for someone like you by far faster than someone who's 5'5". So it doesn't matter what your skin type is. No, you're tall. You're successful. Yeah, they're gonna want to date with you. They're gonna make themselves available. It's all about confidence. That's all.
Okay, fair enough, bro. Thank you, Theo. So let's react to some interesting bits from this week. Okay, so this one we're gonna react to. Okay, is, let me see, video file. Let's react to this clip over here. Okay.
And I also want to talk about this whole power thing. This whole power. You got to understand that white dudes, European men, they literally rape and pillage, colonize, just extract all the resources from different countries. They gave these white women, European women, everything, and they're still complaining. still kind of low-key disrespecting white dudes. And they will still choose a black dude over them. And you got to make an argument that Asian men built, but they still choose white dudes and other non-black dick. So the power thing don't mean nothing. It's just one component. It's not the end all be all. But this is all I wanted to say. I wanted to get you guys' opinion on this. Comment. I want to talk to you guys. Shout out to Christopher Owens, JJ Sarwin, Rolando G. Shout out to Cortez Smith, because I've seen him in the comment sections calling dude out. Yeah, he was calling dude out in the comment section. Because it's like he's going off based on what's going on in the UK. But that's not what goes on in America. And I know Christopher Owens, bro, he can go into better details than this, because he's a man of culture. He knows more about Japanese culture, Brazilian culture than me. And I'm out.